Hey, what's happening, peeps? This is Carlton Lewis, aka Mellow Melanin, aka Mega Businessman, coming to you live and direct from my house in Atlanta, Georgia. Wanted to create this video really about recreating yourself. And one of the first things you gotta do, and I remembered this. Hey, what's going on, Wesley? You hear this a whole lot in different marketing circles that you really need to create your why. And I was watching a video last night by a gentleman named Brandon Boyd, and he gave a checklist of things that you needed to do to be successful. And one of the key things he talked about, he talked about personal development. He talked about, exposing the business to two people. He talked about follow up. He talked about posting on social media. But one of the key things he talked about was reviewing your why. And I thought about that. I hadn't actually reviewed my why in a couple of years, actually, since I actually got involved with the industry. I really needed to sit down and do that. What's going on, Jay? I knew who it was, man. And that's my people watching it on YouTube. I'm actually doing this on Facebook Live. So, he talked about the why. What is your why for doing what you're doing? What is your why for partnering up with a company? What is your why for starting a business? What is your why for even, getting up every morning, to go to work? What's your why? If you have your why written down, type of one down in the chat. Type of one down in the chat if you got your why already written down. Hey, Sharon, how you doing? So, I listened to this gentleman, and this gentleman's, making a nice residual income, and he sat down and put this checklist together. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm of the mindset, if one person can do it, then I should be able to do it, and I don't think that's the wrong mindset to have. I believe that people are, all around us. We have all types of examples of success. And if we can follow someone's formula for what they did, then we should be able to get similar results. So, I woke up this morning, I looked at that last night, right? And I was on fire when I got up this morning. I said, let me just get this thing popping, let me see what's going on. I haven't written down a why. I haven't written down my why for what I was hopping into this venture for. So I'm going to share this with you guys. I'm doing, pretty good. I'm learning. I'm a pretty fast learner, but other than being fast, it's really about being thorough, really getting to the point to where you understand. So, I looked at that. Like I said, he said, review your why and your goals every day. And there was a checkbox on that. And some of the things that he checked on, that he had on the checkbox, I hadn't done, and as a business owner, and I talked about this in another video, you have a checklist of things that you need to go by to make sure your business operates. Any successful business, especially like a restaurant. I used to work at Papa John's back in the day, and I went through their leadership training, while I was getting my degree, right? My business degree. So one of the things I learned from them is they had a step-by-step checklist from the time you came in to unlock the door to the time you cut the lights off to leave out for the rest of the night. To you closing the store. So he put together this checklist, and one thing he had on there was to review your why and your goals every day. Now, I have goals written down, and I turned my goals into affirmations. And I say my affirmations every single day. It's rare when I miss my affirmation. Nope, what's going on? Walter Yates in the house. What's going on, yo? So, I looked at that. I had the goals written down, but I didn't have my why, like my motivation. Your why is like your mission statement. So I didn't have my motivation written down for why I wanted these goals. Yeah, I knew I wanted these goals, certain type of house, certain type of income, certain type of relationship, with my mate, certain type of, how I wanted to be as a father, what I wanted to do with church, all kinds of things, how I wanted to be in business, what kind of person I wanted to be. But I never wrote down why, my motivation for that. So I'm going to share those things with you. I wrote down 4 things this morning. Like I said, I was on fire. I'm not going to make this Facebook Live long. I just wanted to share this with you guys because I think it's really, really important. And it's really good to get this from somebody who's walked down that road before you, so I'm sharing this with you. Somebody shared it with me, and hopefully somebody can hear this and they're saying, boom, this is good information. So what's my why? I crafted this morning. And one thing about your why, it can change. Your motivations for whatever you're doing can change. But you got to be focused. So number 1 is family. My immediate needs, my immediate family needs, and their long-term needs. So that's why I partnered up with this company. I'm focusing on my immediate needs. And one of my immediate needs, if you scroll down a couple of videos in my news feed, I appreciate that, Sharon. Thank you very much. If you scroll down in my news feed, I put down 6 reasons why I joined this company that I'm a part of. And one of the main things was to create another income stream. Not only create an income stream, but to replace the one that I'm doing currently. Because, and if you scroll down some more, I've been dropping this knowledge. It's nothing new that I've come up with, but I'm just sharing it with you guys. As a self-employed person, I've been self-employed for a while now. And being self-employed is okay. It's cool, but you're still swapping your time for money. Okay. I want to get to the point, and you should want to get to the point to where you're no longer swapping your time for money. You either have a system working for you or you have your money working for you. And that is being on what's called the right side of the cash flow quadrant. If you haven't read the Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, I'm going to say it again and say it again. Hey, what's going on? Derek, what up, Noop? It's another Noop popped on here. That's cool. 2 Noops in one Facebook Live. That's pretty good. So, adding that stream of income, that will take care of my family's immediate and long-term needs. Number 2 is building the legacy. Hey, Opal, what's happening, business partner? Building a legacy, and talking about generational wealth. There's a documentary out there called The 1%, and it was filmed by a gentleman who was the heir to the Johnson & Johnson fortune. All right. And it's so funny because his family and some of the rich people, they didn't want him to make this documentary, but he talked about, how this money has passed on, from generation to generation to generation to generation, and a lot of people, these rich people, they pass their wealth on through foundations. Okay, you look at Bill and Melinda Gates, you got Warren Buffett Foundation, you got all these different, you got the Ford Foundation, you got all kind of foundation, and that's about leaving a legacy, man. Have your money working for you and generating money even at long after you're gone. Long after you're gone. I was having this conversation yesterday. I think I talked about it on my last Facebook Live, where just gentleman and I were talking about, how much money the Koch brothers had. And they got plenty of money, man. They got really a lot of money. And they were on this documentary too, the 1%, right? And, the gentleman was saying, well, they gotta have too much money. They can't spend all that money. No, they're going to leave some of that money for later generations. And that's when you really start to understand wealth, is that it's not about spending a whole bunch of money. And, it's about really leaving this world a better place, once you leave it, to me. And how do you do that? Well, you set up things like a foundation. You get you a generational wealth plan. They really have people whose job is to specialize in preserving your wealth for generations. All right. So that was number 2 for me. Number 3 was to increase financial literacy globally. Okay. I'm going to say that again. I partnered with this company because I looked at it and I say, okay, well, how can I look at what I needed, right, as growing up, and even starting a business. I started my first business with some friends. I started a record label back in 1996 with some friends, and none of us were financially literate. None of us. All right. None of us were financially literate. I'll be honest with that, but, we did okay. But imagine if, we were financially literate from when we were little people. We're starting off learning, money, really what money is, what money does. Um, it's more than just what you learn in school. School is going to teach you some basic stuff. And even Robert Kiyosaki talks about financial literacy, financial intelligence in Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Once again, get that book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I'm going to say it. That's one of the things that set me free mentally. This was this book. But he talks about increasing your financial literacy and what that means. So also, to piggyback on the financial literacy, how many people want to, give me some hearts or some thumbs ups or something like that if you can feel me on increasing your financial, not just yourself, your financial literacy, but other people in your life. How would your life change? How would the people in your neighborhood and your family, how would your situation change? How would your environment change if everybody was practicing financial literacy? I mean, that's big. And I've been reading this book for a while. Every day I read this book because the author of the book said read it every day. It's called The Science of Getting Rich, and it's by a gentleman named Wallace Wattles. Okay. And in this book, he talks about how do you get rid of poverty? And he says getting rid of poverty is not, you don't get rid of poverty by just giving people things. You don't get rid of poverty by, if there's somebody hungry, you just give them food. That doesn't get rid of poverty. That keeps a person's, that's going to help that person eat for a day. But if you really want to get rid of poverty, you teach people how to be wealthy. You teach them how to image wealth. First of all, you got to see it in your mind, really, before you can even concept it. Okay. He says, start there, teach them how to fish, and they'll eat forever. You give a man a fish, he's going to eat for a day. Teach him how to fish, he'll eat forever. That's the old proverb, right? And increasing the financial literacy globally, that's how you eradicate poverty. Okay. There's no reason. There's more than enough supplies on this planet for everybody to have whatever it is that they want and need. Seriously, everybody can have a mansion on this planet. There's enough space. There's no limitation in space. There's no limitation in money. All right. Limitation is here. If we can show people how to eliminate the limitations, a lot of it's self-imposed. And then once you become a product of your environment, if that's all that you're seeing, if you don't know anything else, then you're going to repeat the same process. If you guys agree with me, throw me some more hearts in there about that whole repeating the process and really breaking a cycle. And that was my number 3, right? That's bigger than me just buying my family a house and a car. You know what I'm saying? And wearing some nice clothes. It's much, much bigger than that. All right. It's much, much bigger than that. The fourth thing, reason I joined this business, right? Reason I partnered up with this business is I wanted to be able to offer people, everyday people, right? Everyday people. I wanted to be able to offer people an option to increase their income while learning a skill. I'm going to say that again. Giving somebody the ability to increase their income while learning a skill. A lot of companies out here, a lot of these network marketing companies, no disrespect to those companies. All right. But I knew what I was looking for on a personal level. And I wanted to be able to make money with the product without having to sell anything. That's perfect for me. I don't have to sell anything. I know how to sell, but everybody doesn't want to sell. So if I introduce an opportunity to somebody and they say, oh man, I'm not a good salesperson. You don't have to be a good salesperson. You know what I mean? You don't have to be a good salesperson. I don't want to recruit anybody. I don't want to bug my family and friends, about joining a business and trying to get them to buy my shakes, trying to get them to buy whatever, you don't have to do that. And that's pretty cool. So this gives people the option, you're going to learn about finance, which, I could take all the financial literacy. I mean, I just give it to me. You know what I mean? This is what I want to learn. Okay. This is what I want to learn. I know this can set me free. This is what sets people free is knowledge, financial literacy. Literacy means to me, Let's break that down in a layman's term. Being able to speak, okay? Being able to communicate, being able to understand numbers and how they work. And why not get to that level where you're on the largest market in the world? It's not, the largest industry in the world. I used to think it was travel. It's not travel. It's Forex. It's foreign exchange. It's about money. Okay, it's about money. Because without the money, nothing moves. Still don't nothing move but the money. When Rakim says that, nothing moves but the money. It makes everything happen. And if you understand it and put yourself in a position to generate some, to put yourself in the position to generate some, you make your money start working for you. Why not? Why not be able to share that opportunity with people? So those are my whys. Those are my main ones. There's 4 of them. 4 of them. I covered those, and I hope you guys got some value out of this video. If you did, definitely give me some thumbs ups, some hearts. Give me all of that. That's great. I appreciate it. And if you want to know more about what I'm doing, inbox me. All right, because I'm going to be doing this. I'm on a 90-day run. I don't have a problem making videos. I don't have a problem teaching people. I don't have a problem meeting people. I just want to be able to share this with as many people as I humanly can, because oh my God, the people that make the laws, all right, the people that make the laws in this world, in this country, all right, and wherever you live at, most of the time wherever you live at, but definitely in this country right here where we live at, most of those people are wealthy. Okay? Most of the people are wealthy. All right? And they make rules. And they make rules to help them continue to live the type of lifestyles that they want to live. Poor and middle class people don't do that. A lot of times people won't even vote. And I'm not trying to make this about politics, but it's the truth. It's the truth. And Robert Kiyosaki even talks about that in the Rich Dad Poor Dad books. The rich people come up with these laws and these things to benefit them first and foremost. They'll trickle down maybe and benefit some other people, but for the most part, it's going to benefit them. All right. So once again, hope you got some value out of this video. Like, comment, share it. And like I said, if you want to know more about what I'm doing and how you can get started with it, inbox me. All right. And if you're watching this on YouTube, the link will be in the description. And I will holler at you guys. Peace. Have a great day.